All right, here we go. So, yesterday markets were nearly unchanged. Today, stocks are lower again because we have the tensions in the Middle East. Oil prices are surging. We had some labor market data this morning coming out. And then, of course, tomorrow, the big report, the September payrolls report. And everybody's waiting for this. So, there's a lot happening in the markets. And this is what we're going to talk about today. So, let's get started. With that said, welcome to Coffee with Markus and Mark. And in this show, we are going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. And today is Thursday, October 3rd. And I'm back in Austin, and I'm so happy. I couldn't be happier.
No more West Coast Marcus for you, huh?
No more West Coast Marcus. No, it is a couple of days here in Austin, and then we will be in Cayman Island with our mastermind group.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Starting my travel early and looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. So markets, I mean, this week so far, we have been pulling back. I mean, if you look at the weekly chart, we are actually down 0.9% for the S&P. We're down 0.9% for the Dow, and we are down 1.3% for the NASDAQ this week. And this is all due to what's happening in the Middle East right now.
Yeah, and also not much of a surprise. I mean, without the Middle East, maybe there would have been a little bit of a move higher, but we know that it's a busy week. Capped off with tomorrow's report that's so significant. And I don't know, Marcus, to me, sitting around the 5,700 mark with the S&P 500 isn't too much of a shocker.
Uh, it is not. It is not. But if you look at it, yeah, you're right. Tomorrow is the big one. Tomorrow we'll see the jobs report, and now that we know inflation is coming down, the question is what is the jobs market doing? And this is where this week we had a few report that got us a little bit of glimpse of what could happen. We had the Jolts jobs opening coming in better than expected. The ADP non-farm employment change private payrolls coming better than expected. Today, unemployment claims, these are the weekly unemployment claims, in line with expectations, and the ISM services PMI coming in better than expected. So, all of this is pointing to still a strong economy in the US. And I think that this would have given traders a reason to drive the markets to new all time highs. But right now, a little bit dampened on the geopolitical concerns.
You have a good point there. Now, the unemployment claims you could argue was worse than expected. I know it's not by much, but I think on another week this would have stood out a little bit more. But snookered in between all of those big jobs reports and specifically tomorrow's, it kind of went by without being much of a concern.
Yeah. Lots of Fed members speaking. So right now they're all yellow flagged because we kind of already know what they're thinking. But we do have a few more Fed members speaking this afternoon and tomorrow, and we had some speaking yesterday. Basically said, yeah, you know what? I think we're moving in the right direction. Are we out of the woods yet? Should we declare victory? No, because we want to make sure that we are really sustainably moving towards the 2%. But overall, it's looking good. And this is where we have been talking about it yesterday. Right now, traders are also not panicking. Traders believe that the Fed will cut rates at the next meeting at a quarter point instead of previously expected half point. I mean, right now, we have 2/3 to 1/3 for a quarter point versus half a point.
Yeah, and no real surprise there for me anyway. Even though early on, a couple weeks ago, it was flipped. That to me was a bit of a surprise. Right now, I think that this is what most investors would expect the Fed to do.
Yeah. All right. So the big surprise this week is actually crude oil. I mean, crude oil making a big move. Look at that. I mean, for the week, crude oil is right now up 7.2%, adding today with a 4% gain. And this is, again, based on the tensions in the Middle East, where right now, okay, will oil supply be affected there? And that is why oil prices are shooting higher.
Yeah, a real significant move there in crude oil for the reasons that you just shared. up over 4% today, and I mean, almost hitting $74 a barrel. Just 2 days ago, the low was closer to 66.
Right,
I
yeah.
mean, it's kind of crazy.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah, talking about kind of crazy. I mean, this is where right now the VIX, the fear index, is trading above 20 again after it has been lower last week. And so this week, really more uncertainty coming in. And again, usually it would be the jobs report, but now with the geopolitical tensions increased, I mean, VIX up today, 8.5%.
Yeah, that's a decent move there, and making highs uh, right now, or trying to break through those highs that we first saw on Tuesday after that news. Definitely off of those lows and higher than what the historical average is. So that just shows that there's some uncertainty and more premium priced into options.
Yeah. All right, and then we have one company reporting earnings. Levi Strauss reporting earnings down 7.3%.
Mixed earnings here. We see that they had a earnings beat, but a revenue miss. They mentioned that they are considering selling off their Dockers business, and that's something in particular that's really hurting their numbers right now. Will be in, I don't know if anybody wants to buy the business that is hurting their numbers, but that came up as something that's possible.
Yeah, looking, I mean, after the initial shock, a little bit of a bounce back, but since the markets overall are down, I mean, no real bounce back just yet. But today trading as low as 1850, right now bouncing back to 1950. We'll see how this works out.
So Marcus, I saw an interesting stat that I don't know if you saw this or not, but we're off to the best year looking at the first 9 months. Do you know how far back we would have to go?
No.
1997.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, well, let's
bespoke.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
bespoke investments. They said that 2024 is off to its best 9 month gain of the year since 1997. That's caught me by surprise. I wouldn't have guessed 1997.
yeah, and I mean year to date the Dow is up 11.7% year to date. The S&P is up almost 20%, 19.95%, and the Nasdaq up 20.23%. I mean, that's kind of in line. I mean, it's a little bit on the higher side, but typically we see if we see gains that are between 12 and 18%. But yeah, seems that we are off to a good start. And October is living up to its reputation of being a volatile month.
Yep.
All right, let's hop over and let's actually take a look at our positions and see what is happening there. WTF, first up here, no new positions, no exits, because yesterday was kind of an uneventful day. We might get some new positions tomorrow if we continue to move lower today, but we do have three open positions. And right now, first up is Johnson & Johnson. This is a trade that I did not take because I slept through it since I was on the West Coast. You took it, getting in at 160.24 and still higher. So 160.75 right now.
Yeah, hanging in there. Nice 2 day follow through and then pulling back a little bit. Today didn't get quite down to the original entry of 160.24, but got as low as 160.27. Still up on this trade, waiting for an exit.
Yeah. And then the trades that we entered yesterday, I mean, at first, yesterday, it was looking good for both of these trades. Today, both of them trading below our original entry. So CCEP, Coca-Cola, Euro-Pacific Partners, we entered at 77.27. And
Yep.
right now, it's trading at 76.32. So I can bring this in from here. This way we see my exact entry and then MDLZ. Same thing here. So yesterday we entered at let's see, 70. Oh, I entered it incorrectly. Look at my cost base is 74 cents. So I
Oh,
forgot
hey.
to enter a 7. Anyhow,
Whoa.
so I did something wrong here. So yesterday entering at 72.86, and then today trading at 71.70. So slightly below the entry, and we see it here. So down around 1.2% for CCEP, 1.6% for MDLZ, Mondelez International. Nothing for us to do here.
Yep, just waiting for an exit.
Yeah. All right, hopping over to the wheel, and then first up, CSIQ, and CSIQ a little bit all over the place. We talked about it, had this massive 50% increase here. Right now, pulling back a little bit, but holding steady above 15, which we both believe is the line in the sand here for CSIQ.
I think that that's a decent level after the breakdown and then break up to the upside. Pull them back. It would be within a healthy uptrend to even pull back and then resume that rally.
Yeah. All right, so then we have our oil stocks. First up, BP. That's a stock that you're in. I'm not. I skipped this one because I'm in a few other trades. Today down 0.5%. A little bit surprising with oil moving so strongly today.
Yeah, I expected this to have more upside on that news, just like we saw earlier in the week. But for some reason, it's not really showing in BP. Instead, it's showing in Halliburton.
Yeah, so let's hop over there. Halliburton today. I mean, considering a strong move in crude oil, also, I mean, only up 1.5%, but here very similar, a very nice W formation and attacking our break even, so getting closer to our break even. Would love to see a little bit more follow through. And again, this one right now, yes, crude oil is moving higher. This is why Halliburton is moving higher, and the overall stock market is moving lower. And this is why I think the move for Halliburton is stopped at 1.5% right now.
And let's keep going.
And let's keep going. And then there's Coles. Coles being all over the place. I mean, Coles. Wow, what a move. So I own the 2150. That's a trade that I'm in. Mark is not in this trade. And so I was able to sell calls against my existing position earlier this week. And then yesterday, a massive retracement. And right now, I'm looking to actually close these calls at 90% of max profits. And we see that we have quite a reversal here today, up 0.25%. So maybe if this continues to move higher, I might be able to sell calls again. Probably not today, but maybe tomorrow. So we'll see. Anyhow, nicely trading in a range. That's what we want to see for our wheel trades. And time for calls now also to break out to the upside. I mean, yesterday, really a surprise move. Didn't find anything why Coles was trading almost 6% lower.
It just going a little crazy there, I think, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah. And then we have Merck doing its own thing, right? I mean, just completely decoupled from the markets today, down 1%. Trading at the lower range here. So around, where are we right now? Around 111. And we see that we have been trading here in a range between 111 and 120. I got assigned at 120, so would love for it to bounce back and go back up there so that I can sell calls again. As you can see, my break even at 115.47. So Merck, come on, let's do it. Big arrow right here. Let's go up. That's
That's the
also a
plan.
trade that you're not in.
Correct.
And then we have UPS. UPS, our little buddy. Come on, stay up there. Please, please, please. Why? This is where we talked about it. We have our range between 124 and 132. We broke out of the range. We were trading solidly above 137. And then now today, UPS is being pulled back, down 1.5%. I mean, just stay above this range. Don't go back into the range, UPS. I mean, come on, little buddy. You can do this. Keep going.
You know, I said that 132 is kind of that upper level that I'd like to see it stay above, but I'd go with 131. 131 still in that upper range, and what was resistance could act as support. So this is support, UPS. In case you missed the memo and you didn't understand what I was saying earlier, 131 is support. This is where buyers step in. This is where UPS starts to rally because UPS does not want to get back in that lower range. It only wants to go up. I mean, it's the namesake. Ups,
Ups,
UPS, ups.
ups.
Let's go.
All right, and then Skywork Solution SWKS. That is a stock that you're in. You sold the 92 puts. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. So I still have this one. I was trying for an 80% exit based on my rules for a 1 day trade. Didn't get that exit. It came close yesterday. Right now, bids at 5, offers at 15, and I have a 90% exit now, which is my plan. And we'll see if that happens today. Otherwise, I'll see what SWKS wants to do tomorrow after the jobs report.
All right, the big one tomorrow, definitely the jobs report. So we'll see what's happening there. And we need to see what are the markets doing right now, diddling along. Are they trading at session highs, session lows? We'll jump back to the markets here in just a moment. But it is time for our dad jokes. And Mark, I think I kicked your butt yesterday.
I don't think it was a true butt kick like it was the previous days when I won, but I'll give it to you.
I
I
won.
think that
I won.
I think you did win, and so this is why I'm coming in hot,
All right, give it to me.
and just because for some reason the group that follows this channel has my sense of humor as well, and we got to go a little spicy on this one. Where do cow farts come from?
I don't know.
The derriere.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's a good one. All right. But I also thought I step it up, and we at some point we have to bleep something up. Anyhow, so a nun is taking a bath, and suddenly she hears a knock on the door. So she's a little bit wary, and then asks, "Who is it?" And he says, "It's the blind man." And she says, "Oh, okay, yeah, you can come in." And as he comes in, he says, "Ooh, nice bleep. And where do you want the blinds?" Come on, you can crack a smile. You can give it to me. I mean, you can laugh. It's okay. It's okay.
All
Jeez,
right.
you're a
All
tough
right.
crowd.
No. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I think it's going to be a real challenge there, a real battle.
It could be, and it should be. Okay, so
Hey, but Marcus, you know what? I
yeah,
could guarantee you're going to win tomorrow.
we'll see. We'll see. All right. I mean, let's just look at the markets here. So we have a 5 minute chart. Today is Thursday. So Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So pretty much the whole week we have been diddling along, but as we can see, diddling along to the lower side. This is why so far we're down for the week, which is not too surprising. So tomorrow could be the day where all of it changes. Right now for today, nothing really there. Slightly lower. The Dow is lower by 0.5%. Dow leading the pack lower. The S&P is down 0.3%. The Nasdaq is down 0.2%. The Russell, the small cap stocks down sort of 0.75%, and the VIX up 7.3%. So there's definitely some fear in the markets, and the question is, okay, is this only because of the jobs report tomorrow, or is there more behind it? And we will know tomorrow when the jobs report is being released. So you don't want to miss tomorrow. Make sure that you're tuning in. If you like today's show, give us a like. We really appreciate it. If you feel that this was information worth sharing, there's a share button right underneath. As soon as the live stream here is over, let us know in the comments who had the better joke today, the cow farts or the nun taking a bath. And well, that's it. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Happy trading, everybody.